Hello, this afternoon I'm here in the wonderful Belmont House, which is one of our brilliant fine art studios. And it's fantastic that we're here this afternoon because I'm welcoming as my guest to celebrate 120 years of Falmouth School of Art. I'm welcoming the guest who actually purchased this building when he was principal of University College Falmouth. Welcome, Alan. Welcome back to the university.
Thank you, Emma. It's lovely to be back. And I must say, it brings back many memories. And just walking through the campus there, I just remember meeting so many people and so many big events and so many nice days on campus. So I started in 1987 and then I stayed until 2009. So I did Fantastic. 22 years.
Fantastic. That's got to be a bit of a record.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
But I mean, the interesting thing was that it was such a great place to be part of, and it was such an exciting time. But me and my family just loved being in Cornwall. So it was very much like being a student. You come to a nice place, good staff, good history, and the bonus is you're living and working in Cornwall. And that's a very, very attractive package. And I think that still applies to many staff and students.
I think that spirit of Cornwall is within all of us in some way, whether you're new to Cornwall, whether you've grown up in Cornwall. But just reflecting back to that amazing 22 years, it's really important for us to sort of celebrate some of that heritage and some of that past because it helps inform our future. And I'm here as the new Vice-Chancellor and would love to hear some of your thoughts about your time and what you think might carry us into the future from your time when you were principal.
When I arrived, I was looking at something very new. The county had made this big decision to merge the Art and Design of Cornwall College and Falmouth School of Art together. So the Art College at that time, in other words, this place, was probably about 300 students. And then we acquired another roughly 300 students. And that brought the combined figure, I seem to remember at that time, to about 640 students. So we started at 640 students, and this was seen as something very big and significant for Cornwall. So at that time then it was just this new entity of art and design in Cornwall and Camborne School of Mines, and that was it. And you did feel very exposed because you were still very small in relative terms. And that sense of isolation from the big centres, particularly London, was a real issue. And what others had to do was to make sure that when you're small and you're specialist and you're 250 miles away from London, and you had to make sure if you're going to have an existence in the future, you had to be able to say, we've got to be good.
Absolutely.
I mean, the idea of being small and ordinary or average is the kiss of death.
Yeah.
So really that was why when I arrived, we had to really start very quickly getting the right course provision, getting good staff in, and driving it on and making sure everyone worked together.
And that's such a good lesson because we're now in that place where we're revising our strategy, we're looking at what we're doing, and it's the same issues. We can't afford to be not good at what we do. So it takes a lot more, there are a lot more challenges with that. Just reflecting again though, so that's an amazing 22 years. If you then went to the end just before you left Falmouth, you're still part of our family, by the way. What would you look back and say were your greatest highlights?
It's very interesting. I mean, I think the Cornwall location, it's stating the obvious, but that's fundamental to our future. How you use, how you develop, even how you exploit that situation. And you mustn't ever say, it's unfortunate we're not one of the big centres. This is where you are. This is where we are. And you've got to make this into a big centre. And really just to follow on from that, all the time you knew you were being judged by bigger institutions who had a view, and let's say the view was looking down on you slightly. So you had to battle against that, I would say, a prejudice and an ignorance. So you were proudly specialist. You were in Cornwall and you were still quite small. And I think if you take on this job that you've done and Anne's done, I've done, it's very important that you play to those strengths. You never deny those realities. And if you can build in that, I think you will become an even more important institution And the one thing that I think in terms of history, you have to realise is that Cornwall was certainly when I was here in the 1980s, one of the poorest counties in England. Now, you have to confront that. And you can't pretend that you're above that. So my view always was that we are part of the fabric of this county. And if you do that, then you belong, and people pick up the message that you're part of the ongoing fight to improve the quality of life in Cornwall.